Hi everyone, happy Sunday. Welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I am Michelle Geeson and I can't wait to show you 3 Hapiness hummus. Seriously, I had a hard time narrowing down the hummus recipes that I wanted to share with you. These 3 are my absolute favorite. I honestly cannot figure out which one I like most. They are all amazing in their own right, and I'm going to tell you something right now. They made the soft foods and puree stage of my bariatric journey livable. And not only those stages, but now, because they're so wonderful to eat with vegetables and chips, tortilla chips, low carb of course, but whatever you want to eat with them. So I can't wait to show you. A lot of this stuff I could prepare ahead of time, but I'm actually going to cook these 3 hummus recipes for you on camera today. So one of the things that we have in common, as you all know, is that we have all either had weight loss surgery or we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. But even if that doesn't fit the bill, even if you're striving for overall health and wellness, or whether you're trying to combat a diabetes diagnosis or just trying to make good choices, you are in the right place, because my philosophy is that we are not designed to walk the face of this earth wondering and wishing if we could have this or that. We have to live life and not exist, okay? And food is an essential part of that, and we have to learn to live with it. So we might as well go big or go home, but do it within these bariatric parameters. And I'm gonna show you how to live large, cook and eat small, and find flavor in absolutely everything that you do, okay? So that being said, let's talk hummus. I've got 3 kinds of hummus to show you. The traditional hummus recipe that I've been making for many, many moons. My roasted carrot and garlic hummus, which is a newer recipe, but it's gotten me through a lot of good stuff, including the puree stage. And then finally my edamame hummus, which is one of my favorites, as I say. The carrot and the edamame hummus, those are both lower carb options as opposed to the traditional chickpea hummus. Now, carbs, the chickpea hummus, obviously we're talking good carbs. Chickpeas are garbanzo beans, and the carbs are good. They're good carbs. But there's a lot of them. And so if you're kind of carb conscious like I am, I have to just be really careful, and there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. So I just want to make sure I give you options. The first thing that we're dealing with the roasted carrot hummus, I'm going to actually show you part of it. I'm going to have my camera girl Maya walk around, please. We are going to take the roasted carrots out of the oven, and then we are going to move over to the traditional hummus, and then we'll circle back, okay? These carrots have been roasting for about 25 minutes. They just have to get soft, and then they have to obviously cool. But what I did was I took a plastic bag and I put these carrot circles that I cut. You can cut them however you want, but just like in 1/2-inch sticks or circles. I did circles. And I used my crinkle cutter, which is my kitchen tool of choice, just because I was easy. I felt like a little ninja. I could do it quickly. A pound of carrots in a plastic bag with 2 garlic cloves, some olive oil, a teaspoon of cumin, and salt and pepper to taste on the baking sheet. So let's go ahead and show you these bad boys. This is where you say, ooh, ah. Actually, they look fantastic, and I'm very excited. And sometimes I tend to do a little bit more than a pound of carrots because I end up eating right off the tray. They're that good. So these guys have to cool, so I'm going to let them cool. But Maya, come over here and let me show everyone what we're doing with the edamame for the edamame hummus. We are actually going to be boiling this edamame. And for those of you that don't know, edamame are, Maya, focus on this first. They are soybeans, okay? And here's the package. Maya was debating on whether or not she should pan in. But these I get in the frozen section of my local grocery store, which is Meijer. This is actually the Meijer brand. You can get brand name ones. The nutrition facts, if you want, as far as fat grams 5, carbs 9, but fiber 3, so that nets out at 6. And then 10 grams of protein, which is lovely. So go back to the water, Maya. We just had to have these boil for about 4 minutes. So I'm gonna take them off the heat. We just wanna make sure they're a little bit soft, not super soft. So those are the two preparatory things that we have to do for the roasted carrot hummus and the edamame hummus. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's come back over here, Miss Maya. Maya, did you say hiya? Do it.
Hi.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, I should tell you that a lot of the products and gadgets that you see here, if you have any questions about them, certainly feel free to ask on this live broadcast. Send a message, post it on our Facebook page. It can evoke some really, really good conversation, and I want to make sure you have the tools that you need to be successful as you're making these recipes. But we'll start with the traditional hummus. This, like I said, I've been making this well over a decade. My recipe is loosely based on a South Beach diet. Oops, that was, Maya's laughing at me. If you heard that beep, that would have been the dishwasher. Outtake one. Anyways, the traditional hummus is loosely based on a South Beach diet recipe that I saw many, many years ago, long before my weight loss surgery days when I was grasping at straws, trying any diet that I could. But this recipe, for some reason, stuck out for me, and I've modified it through the years and have tweaked it to my liking, and then after the weight loss surgery I bariatricized it. So that's the recipe that you see here today. Maya, if you want to focus on me and the Cuisinart, we are going to start with a can of chickpeas. Now, I drained these bad boys. Please drain them, but please make sure that you reserve the liquid. And Maya, if you have people that are asking questions, please let me know, okay? So keep the liquid. You might need this depending on how thick or thin you like your hummus. I know I'll probably put a little in the traditional, and I might even put a tad bit in the roasted carrot hummus. So we're gonna start off with a can of chickpeas, all right? And then we are going to do 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. Now, I love lemon so much, and sometimes 2 tablespoons isn't even enough, but essentially you're going to use the juice from 1 lemon. But I never or rarely juice a lemon without first zesting the lemon. So I've got the zest and the juice, if you want to show, and my little zester tool that I did ahead of time. So the more lemon in my life, the better. It makes me happy, it uplifts my spirit. It's like my spirit citrus. Anyways, so now next we're gonna do tahini. For those of you that are not familiar with tahini, take a look at it. It looks like runny peanut butter, and it is crushed sesame essentially. And I will show you my container. I actually keep it upside down so it stays, because like natural peanut butter, it'll separate, and I find that if I keep it upside down, instead of clumping up, it's a lot easier to manage. And then when I open it up before I use it, I actually use my immersion blender to get in there and mix it up nice. And that's how I preserve it. You do not have to refrigerate it. In fact, don't refrigerate it because it'll get as hard as a rock, and then you can use it as, you know, a blunt weapon. So that's the tahini. There is a 1/4 cup of tahini in each of these recipes. A lot of recipes out there use a 1/2 cup or more, but tahini is very caloric, and it has a lot of fat in it. And protein, I mean, I guess we can look at it real quick. Protein, it's decent, 5 grams of protein, but 180 calories per 1 ounce. And that's accompanied by about 15 grams of fat. So it's all the good kind of fat. It's all natural, but I like to use it just to give it that nutty, sticky consistency, and then nothing more, okay? So that's our tahini. We are gonna make sure that we get every last bit in here. I actually sprayed this little dish that the tahini is in. I sprayed it with a little cooking spray to make it a little bit easier. And there we go. And then I'm just going to use this little spatula for the next one. So I'll leave it right in there. All right. I'm going to turn off the edamame. Then we've got a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I pretty much eyeball this too. So do what you feel is comfortable. You will get this recipe starting at 3 o'clock, 4. I have recipes 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not quite sure what order they're in. But here's my salt. And the good thing about these recipes is even if I'm telling you one increment of salt and pepper, you can do whatever you want. So there's my salt and pepper. And then we need cumin. Cumin is one of my favorites. It calls for a teaspoon. You're gonna probably see me use a heaping teaspoon because I love it so much. And there's, oops, now I have to do a heaping teaspoon because I told you I was going to. All right, so there's that. So the next thing that we're gonna do is put 1/4 of a cup of chopped onion. We're gonna put a little bit of olive oil. My recipe calls for a tablespoon, but I like to just eyeball it. And if you need a little bit more at the end, do it. But now here comes the pièce de résistance. All of my hummus recipes have 2 tablespoons of unflavored protein powder in it. I want you to use the protein powder, or it's recommended that you use the protein powder that has 40 to 50 calories per scoop. I am using Nectar. I know some of you like the Gen Pro. Nectar is what the, you can get it online, and I can certainly put the link on our Bariatrics page. But I know locally I can get this at my bariatric clinic that I am associated with. So this has 40 calories per scoop and 10 grams of protein. And I just love it. It's so, you can't taste it at all. So this is 2 scoops. It's going on in. And now I think we are ready for our first hummus recipe. All right, I'm gonna start off pulsing this. Now I'm turning it on, whoops. Now I'm turning it on. And you can kind of see it's a little thick, so I'm gonna add this liquid. Till it gets the consistency that I like. That looks pretty good. Usually when it's really, really easy to see it go through, then you know you're doing something right. All right, let's take a look, everyone. Yeah, I like this consistency. It's not super thick where it's sticking to the spoon, but it's not super runny either. I like it. I do see a little bit of the pepper and the protein powder, so I am gonna pulverize it just for a little bit more. Let me get a bowl ready. It's looking really, really good. All right. Now I'm going to be using the same Cuisinart each time we make this. So you're going to hear the water running, but let me get as much off this as I can because I don't like to waste food to begin with, but wasting good hummus should be a federal offense. Hold on, you guys, here I come. All right. I was trying to think of how I was going to pull this off doing 3 different hummus recipes because ideally it would be really cool if I had 3 Cuisinarts, but that ain't going to happen. All right, so let's get this in a bowl. Now, hummus is obviously, you should chill it, keep it in the refrigerator, eat it with your favorite cut peppers. I'm actually going to show you how I serve it after all 3 of them are done. But what I like to do is make a little well and put olive oil in the middle, which that's my well. And then I like to sprinkle a little paprika on it just for color. And then we can sprinkle some fresh parsley. Are there any questions so far, Maya, that we have to address? No? Look at how picture perfect that is, you guys. I'm digging it. And actually, funny enough, look at the olive oil. If you look at it from this point of view, totally looks like a heart. Yes, we love hummus. So keep looking at that. Let me rinse this off, Maya. And then we are gonna go to edamame hummus. Edamame hummus. Does anybody have any questions while I'm rinsing? And if you don't, that's okay. I Here we go. All right. So that was like a wardrobe change, only it was like a Cuisinart change. So we'll deal with this one next. Hold on, I'm putting it over here. Now we're gonna go to our edamame hummus. The edamame, again, like I showed you, was soybeans. It is a much lower carb option and actually a higher protein option too. It's got 10 grams of protein per serving, the soybeans, and they're so delicious. And actually, if you buy these and you decide you don't like the edamame hummus, but maybe you like the edamame, these taste great on a salad or roasted with some garlic and some salt. There are so many great recipes that you can do with edamame, and I love it to pieces. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we need to, it's like something my husband would say. We need to drain the water from the edamame, but I like to reserve the water too. So, and actually, if my friend Missy is listening, when I am done using the water that I need for this recipe, I am gonna actually, instead of tossing out the rest of the edamame water, I am gonna use this to water my plants because it's full of amazing nutrients. And that is the way that I roll now that I've discovered hashtag plant life. See my house, it's all full of plants. All right, so I got all the edamame. I've got the water here that I'm gonna just put on reserve. Let's get the recipe. All right, so we used the 1 package of frozen shelled edamame. We boiled them for about 4 minutes just so that they were soft. Then we drained them and we reserved the water. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is we are gonna get 3 cloves of garlic, which I've got right here. Yes, I love garlic. You can adjust the garlic to your liking. That's just what I use because it's a recipe that I created. All right, so a 1/4 cup of tahini. Again, I use a lot less of the tahini than most recipes you will see online. Okay. Then we need, we'll need the edamame water, but I am going to put that in as we go. So we need the juice of 1 lemon plus the zest, and then our protein powder. And then I am going to take some of the edamame water and just get it ready because I know we're gonna need it. But I want to show you how it processes first before we put it in. It'll get, whoops, there. It'll get really thick. And you can see how it's kind of chasing itself around the bowl. That's how I know it's too thick. So here comes the water. Now with the edamame, I actually open it up a little bit. The steam has created a suction. And I try to like scrape the sides and then I put it back in. You can kind of see, Maya, if you could get in there, you can kind of see the texture. It's still kind of like lumpy and thick. I want it to be a little bit creamier. All right, so back we go. And it may be that we need a little bit more water, and that's okay too. Again, I like a thicker hummus, but I also want it to look good. Texture matters when it comes to your hummus. And that's looking so great so far. And sometimes you can jumpstart it by pulsing it. If you have a Ninja, you'll know when it's to your liking. And it's looking so good, you guys. All right, just another 5-10 seconds. And okay. I wasn't really counting, but we'll see. That looks great. All right, so let me get a bowl. And come on over here, Miss Thing. I want to scrape, I want to get as much off this blade as I can. And you know what's funny? Like, I'm like, oh, not that I would do this, and please do not do this at home. This is just, but knowing me, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to eat this. And then I would like lick the blade and then kill myself, but that's not going to happen. But in the same fair swoop, I don't want to waste good hummus. All right, hold on. Oh man, that's good. Now I just ate a little bit off my finger, and I can tell you already that it probably needs just a tad bit more salt. But again, I would rather you start these hummus recipes with what the recipe recommends and then add it accordingly, because the last thing you want is for it to be too salty. Okay, let's get this in a bowl. It is nice and green, and man, this is good stuff. Okay, so basically I kind of know this is my food prep for the coming work week. I am going to be taking this to work with the vegetables that you will soon see. Hold on one sec. Yes, I just ate the spatula. Okay, hold on, I'm just rinsing. I am rinsing because I don't have 3 Cuisinarts. All right, I'm back. Boom. Lock and load. We're ready for the next one. I'm drooling. It looks nice. Melissa, these hummus recipes are amazing. Maya, come right back over here for a quick second. Again, I like to make a little well in here. It's not cooperating very much. And put the olive oil. And then I want to put some parsley. And then where did my paprika go? Just for color. Okay, check that bad boy out. Ah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna go put this, you stay there, Maya, and don't show this side, because this is what we're gonna show last. And now let's do our roasted carrot hummus. Okay, seriously, this roasted carrot hummus, I mean, think of when you eat a carrot. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? It is to me. So this hummus is like a sweet, thick, carroty goodness that has the salty twinge to it, and then some really good flavor with the spices that we add to it. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna take these carrots and now I do this. This is what I do, how I get the carrots from baking sheet to Cuisinart, and I have never had a wipeout, but I am on camera now, and I know I run that risk. So cross your fingers, cross your toes, that I don't spill or drop these carrots in any way. Oh, all right, here we go. Follow me. Can she do it? Do-do-do-do. She did. Okay, carrots in Cuisinart. Yeehaw! It would be just like me to biff that one out. So, all right, so remember, this is a pound, give or take, of carrots cut into 1/2 inch circles or strips. I did circles. 2 cloves of garlic, olive oil, maybe a tablespoon, a teaspoon of cumin, salt and pepper to taste. Now we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of tahini, our last 1/4 cup, and really scrape it. Get every last bit, because this stuff is just delish. All right, and then we've got our 2 scoops of protein powder, and we've got our lemon, the zest and the juice. And we are going to give it a whirl. Now I've got regular chickpea juice and I've got edamame juice that I can use. Let's see what happens. Definitely needs a little. turn this off for a second, you guys, and we can scrape the ends. You can kind of see, Maya, if you kind of look in, you can kind of see this is a really nice thick. I'm not going to add any more liquid, that's for sure. It's got gorgeous color, gorgeous color. Let me put this back and blend it a little bit more. There we go. We're good. All right, another bowl. At least you don't have to deal with me with the rinsing this out, but I am gonna get all this stuff off. This came off really nice. And now I can put it in. All right, let's get this in a bowl. Oh, Mama, I am home. I'm so glad I did not eat lunch yet because, Maya, I'll give you $5 if you try this. On camera. Answer with words, please. No? Why? It's carrots. I think she might have just dry heaved. Maya doesn't like too many vegetables. It's not my ideal. So it's not because it's bad in any way. Although there are some things I've made that she likes, but that will remain nameless for a later date. Misty, you're gonna love this hummus today. Oh my gosh, you're gonna absolutely love it. All right, so now I'm gonna make that little well and eat off the spatula. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so good. Put my little olive oil. This one I'm actually going to garnish with some cilantro. It's just super good that way. All right. And then we have to discuss this. Okay. This is the last piece of the puzzle. It's not mandatory by any means, but za'atar. This spice is like a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern-ish spice that goes so well with hummus, and I love to sprinkle it on top. So it's got sesame in it and lots of really nice, pungent, really good spices. So, okay, let's walk over here and let me show you my spread. All right, so now you can see, come on in, to the left, you have traditional hummus, edamame hummus, and roasted carrot hummus. Look at these gorgeous hummus recipes that you could eat for yourself or totally serve to friends and family, even for July 4th. All right, but now pan over to my veggie tray and my pita chips. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I use. When I eat hummus or even salsa, because I love salsa and I could eat it by the spoonful, I like to take my veggies, my peppers, and cut them in wedges. Sometimes if I can, I'll cut them in little pizza shapes too, because that way I can scoop them just like I would a chip, okay? So I've got red, orange, yellow, green peppers, and then wedges of cucumber as well that I can easily use to take my hummus. So darn good, it defies description. But wait, there's more. Chips. Take a look at those chips. And then, after you're done drooling, take a look at this. These are the chips. I used, it's not pita bread. It is Carb Smart or Carb Counter, low carb flour tortillas. And each tortilla, they're kind of big, is 45 calories, a gram of fat. It's 15 carbs and 11 grams of fiber, so that's 4 net carbs, and then 5 grams of protein. So if you're cutting this like I do in triangles, so you take each one, and I used a pizza cutter, and you cut them into 8 wedges. All I did was spray them with cooking spray, or you could probably spray them with olive oil if you want, but that adds a little bit more calories. Dust them with garlic powder and sea salt, and then bake them at 350 for a total of 8 minutes. But the first 5 minutes, you're gonna watch them like a hawk. You're gonna take them out, you're gonna flip them over on their other side, and then you're gonna cook them for the last 3 minutes. And they are amazing. Okay, what, Maya? Why are you looking at me? Tell me, you want one? Oh, go ahead, take one. But now you're gonna be chomping on my camera, so focus on the camera. Anyways, so, well, hey, you guys, I finally did it. I finally made something she wanted to eat. She's laughing. All right, so these are really, it's a great alternative. There's a lot of different brands. There's a lot of different textures and thickness. I just, every once in a while, every time I want a little bit of a crunch, this is what I make. They are not as crunchy as a traditional corn tortilla chip, and they're not soft like pita bread. They're kind of like an even Steven right in the middle. So it's a nice change. And you can have 8 of them, 8 of those triangles for 45 calories. So it's a really great snack to have with your hummus, okay? I'm tired and I'm hungry. That's all I got for you. I hope that you love this episode just as much as I do. Is there a message, Maya? Oh, okay, because you were holding your finger up and I didn't know. Next week, we are going to do zucchini carbonara, if I recall. If you have any ideas to things that you want to see me create, I know I need to start scheduling some more after the holiday. So don't forget to let me know if that's an option, but we will definitely be here for next week. Please don't forget, I'm on all social media, obviously Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Please note you are watching this broadcast on Bariatrics and Tips, the page, but there's actually a new page, a sister page called Bariatric Tips that is this page's group. And the group is designed for interaction and support for our bariatrics community. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you are part of that Facebook group. It is a public group. You don't need to apply for membership. We want you here. We want you to invite your family, your friends, your acquaintances, anyone that can help you on your wellness journey. Don't forget to like me on TikTok because I show a lot of videos of my everyday meal planning. Most recently, some egg bites that I made. So can't wait for you to see that. I appreciate you taking time out on Sunday. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my daughter Maya for the camera work. And now I'm gonna go eat me some hummus. See you later, bye.